Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I wanted to show you guys one of the ways that I stay motivated to pay off debt and save, and that is using these debt trackers and savings trackers. And if you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen this on there a couple times, as well as my vision board. This was actually on the wall in my old office space area, but since I took it down, I just haven't put this back up, which is supposed to go in my room. So before I set up my vision wall again in my room slash office, I wanted to show you guys the trackers that I use. So the ones I want to talk about first are the ones that I used when I first decided to tackle our debt, which was in June of 2018. So I believe it was just these two that I had starting out, and I believe the emergency fund as well. But in 2018, I was still following, in like June, I think I was following the baby steps, the Dave Ramsey's baby steps, and part of his baby steps was the $1,000 savings goal. And then after that, you kind of go gazelle intense, I think is what he called it, to pay down debt. But I did change it to $2,000 because after we saved this up, I believe a couple months later in the new year, I think it was June 2019, that we actually needed extra money to pay for a medical procedure, and we needed more than the $1,000. So my emergency fund has also been updated since then. I just felt like we needed to just have more, so I started over from the $1,000 and decided to do $2,000. And then I'll show you guys an updated one that we have as well as far as the emergency fund savings goes. I personally think that whatever you feel comfortable with putting into your emergency fund, go with that. I don't really think there's a magic number. It just kind of depends on your situation. So at the time, I felt comfortable increasing from 1,000 to 2,000. So that's what I had. And we did end up being able to save that up. And then the other tracker that I had, oh, and I'm also going to be updating these later on towards the end. I have post-it notes because I have not updated any of these for a while. So that's what the post-it notes are for. So this debt-free land chart right here, this is our total debt that we started out with in June of 2018. My student loans, I had two, and this is the balance in June of 2018. I went ahead and updated that and separated out the student loans, as you guys will see here later in the charts. And then the emergency fund, of course, and then credit card is something that I decided to print out in 2019. So how you calculate this, I've had a couple people actually ask me. It's pretty simple. It's the total amount of debt that you have, and she has on here how much squares are in each chart. So in this one, there's 100 squares. So what you pretty much do is just divide the total debt by 100 squares, and then each of those squares will equal this amount. And in the beginning, oh my god, I felt like it was so slow paying this off. That's why I decided to break it down. So this was our total debt with credit card, personal loan, car loan, and student loans. So I decided to break it down into a student loan one and then a credit card one, because just filling these out was just so satisfying and motivating to see that I was almost done. So it helped a lot with paying off the credit cards, because our balances, I would say, were pretty, well, not that low, but it was enough for us to be able to pay off a couple here and there. Because in the beginning of this year, 2020, I think we paid off a total of 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm looking at my my debt chart that I have. Let me go get it. Hang on. In the beginning of the year, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards, 7 credit cards left. And the last one was paid off in June of this year. Just having it written down here and then coloring this in just made me want to finish it even more, or pay it off even more. So that is one of the reasons why I do this, is because 1, I like to color, and 2, I love the visual motivation to pay off all of our debt and save as well. Let me show you guys the other newer charts that I printed out this year. This one I'm going to keep for sure and keep tracking this one as our overall debt-free progress. And then for our big emergency fund, this I started this year. I believe we did take some money out in the beginning of this year because this is the amount we have currently in there, 4,015, and right here it says we have a little bit more than the $4,500 in here. Our goal is $6,000. We did increase it from the 2 because I decided that I wanted to have at least 3 months worth of expenses saved up, and then in 2021 I am going to slowly increase this as well. I just want to be prepared for anything, so I just want to make sure that we have money to cover our butts. So that's why I did increase it to $6,000. That's just gives me peace of mind. I know it might be different for everybody, but for us, this is what's working. So that's not to be touched unless it's a true emergency. And since we've had a couple of medical expenses come up, I did decide to open up a sinking fund just for that as well. I should probably start a chart for that one too, so I might have to do that actually. So that's our emergency fund. And then with our student loans, I decided to break it down. So this is overall our student loan balance. I just had 2. I had Navient and I had my federal loan. My Navient, I decided to print this out. I think these were free. I don't remember because I do remember purchasing some of her charts. For sure, I paid for this one. I think it was like $1.50 or $2 just because I liked, I wanted to make it look all nice and I really liked this one. So I think that one was the only one I paid for, and I think these were free. I'm not 100% sure. Check her website because she sometimes has deals, and if you're part of her newsletter, she does do freebies as well. But anyways, this one really caught my eye because I really love Tetris and video games. And what was this? Alien Invaders? What was Galaga? I don't remember what the game was called, but I really gravitated towards these 2. So I really wanted to color this in. So with Navient, I ended up finishing off this loan in August of this year. So this one's all nice and filled out. And then this one, I feel like it's taking me forever. So this is going to be updated. I just have 7 aliens to color in here. This is the only debt that we have left. And this loan started out with $16,200. Our balance is now $13,200. Our focus right now has been more on the savings. I feel like the extra debt payments have kind of been on a hold for now, but I think in 2021, I'm for sure going to come up with a plan to at least make more than the minimum payment, which is $205. Maybe increase that to like at least $250 or something. So not sure yet. I'll make sure to address that in my financial goals video that I'm going to be doing as well. So that is it for the student loan. Then for the credit cards, this one was one of the first ones that was done. So I was going to print out one for each card, but we had a lot of credit cards and that would have been a bit much. So I just stuck with this, this chart right here. And then the other chart that I have, this one is new for this year. It's a credit score tracker, and this one was actually a freebie. If you guys are familiar with the Budget Mom, every Friday she has a newsletter and there is a freebie attached to that, and this was included in that. So I decided to go ahead and print this out because increasing our credit scores is one of our goals. This one is just for mine. I am tracking my husband's as well as separately, and I think that's pretty much it for the trackers. I did also start a sinking funds tracker, savings tracker, but ever since I took down my visual wall, I just kind of stopped tracking. I am going to be starting our sinking funds over again. Oh, and this one is from the Budget Mom. Everything else was from debtfreecharts.com. So these right here, the credit score tracker and the sinking funds tracker is from the Budget Mom. And yeah, I'm gonna have to start over with the sinking funds again because I have depleted Christmas already. Hawaii, we're still saving up for. The Budget Mom wallet, I've already depleted, but I am going to be just starting a planner related sinking fund, not just specifically to the Budget Mom. And then I still have our vehicle maintenance sinking fund going, as well as our fun and events. And then we are about to deplete my son's dental work. We do have that saved up right now, which is in our secondary savings account. He will finally be getting his dental work done this coming Wednesday, so that'll all be gone. And then yeah, that is pretty much it. So so everything is nice and updated. And I did forget to mention the coloring tools I used. I am using one of the mild liners for one of the charts, and I also use one of my Passion Planner. I don't think I've shown this on here before. I use one of the Passion Planner highlighters. This one's a little bit different from the mild liner because the fine part, I don't know if you guys can tell, it's a lot thinner on the Passion Planner. And it is dual-ended as well, just like the zebra mild liners, except that it just has a finer, way finer tip on the other side compared to the mild liners. So I was able to color in the little aliens here without going over or coloring over it, so that kind of helped out a lot. And then I just used color pencils for the credit score tracker. I'm using pretty thin printer paper, and I think I tried to use, so like the tumble markers with this one, it just bleeded through. So I, instead of bleeding through this entire wheel, I just decided to use color pencil. And yeah, just the tumble markers that I use, Passion Planner highlighter, zebra mild liner highlighter, and then color pencils. So yeah, that is pretty much it for this video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. And again, I will leave the information on where you can get these charts in the description box below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you in my next video. Have a good one, guys.